Africa, hoye, hoye, hoye. RHNK.
I'll start off with a story. And I want to talk about Amina. Amina is not here today, but I want you to hold her in your mind as we start off this conference and for the days to come, because she is the reason we are all here today. Amina was 16 years old when she found out she was pregnant. She was in Form 3. She had a dream that was so loud, and these dreams were very specific. She wanted to be an engineer, and this she had told her teacher. She had also told her mother, because girls share a lot with their mothers. She had even written it on a piece of paper, and she had placed it just the way we stick notes, just beside our bed. One day she found out she was pregnant. And the first thing Amina did was to take down the note that she had put beside her bed. The note was always to remind her who she wanted to be. And not because her dream died, but because she had been taught by the systems, by the silence, by the absence of the services and information that girls like her needed to not keep their dreams. She, of course, did not know where to go. She did not know who to talk to. She was afraid of the clinic, because if she went to the clinics, she'll be turned away, or she'll be asked, "You're only 16. Where is the person that is supposed to give consent? So where is the guardian?" She was also scared to go to school, because of course the teachers were going to send her away, because in school, people that are supposed to be in school are not supposed to be people that are expecting to be mothers. And so she stayed silent. She stayed pregnant, and Amina stayed afraid. Amina is not a girl, is not one girl. She's hundreds of thousands of girls across our continent every single year. And I think for every meetings we go to, we hear of the numbers. When Dr. Serem started his speech, he mentioned of the issues that face Amina. And Amina represents girls that are very brilliant, capable and full of potential, who are not failed by their own choices, but our collective failure to build systems that see them, serve them, and protect them. Ladies and gentlemen, Amina is the reason we are here today. I want to ask you something, and I want you to think about it genuinely, not just as a conference response or any other convening that we are having this year. How many of you, while growing up, had access to accurate, honest, shame-free information about your sexual and reproductive health? And we can all pause and think about that. Every day we are told adolescent pregnancies are rising. Now, how many of you wish you had access to this information? The gap between what we had and what we needed, this is the gap this conference exists to close. For the generation coming behind us, for Amina and for the millions of young people across Africa who deserve better than the silence we inherited. Allow me to tell me who I am. My name is Nelly, Munyasia, and I'm so honored to be the Executive Director of Reproductive Health Network Kenya, that continues to convene this conference together with the Ministry of Health, under the leadership of the Ministry of Health and the National Council for Population Development. This year we are so excited to have Uganda come on board as an official partner. And I officially welcome you to the 9th RHNK Pan-African Adolescent and Youth Sexual and Reproductive Health and Rights Conference. I want to pause and just acknowledge what it means and why we are here. When we look at the room today, we see governments, we see researchers, we see the young people, we see the Aminas, we see the private sector, but we also see the faith-based organizations. We have implementers, we have judiciary in this house, We have people that have dedicated the entire of their careers to the belief that every young person on this continent deserves to be healthy, informed, safe, and free. That is not a small thing. This is a movement you all are part of. Over the years, RHNK has continued to provide this platform. And the question we've gotten is, what do we do? Is it that we're just convening? Is it that we're just excited, bringing people from across the continent, probably come for holiday? Ladies and gentlemen, no. Last year, we convened over 1,000 delegates in this country from 24 countries. Out of the convening, several issues came up, but importantly, we were able to develop 11 policy briefs. One of the things that consistently came up was the issue on the age of consent. As we convene here today, ladies and gentlemen, I'm excited to say that we did not sleep on the commitments. When we started the journey to the 9th Scientific Conference, we identified 15 young Pan-African leaders from 15 countries in the African continent. And they have helped shape this conference. They have gone through a journey, and they are part of the team seated here, working to ensure that the voices of young people from 15 countries are well represented here. And that is something you asked us. Where are the leaders? Every time we are told youth are the leaders of tomorrow, and you did not see it. So we are grateful to our sponsors that this is happening, and we have the inaugural one. We shall continue to have several. Secondly was the issue of consent. Young people said we have conversations, we are telling them we have policies, we are telling them things are happening, but they're not able to access services and information. Through support again from some of the sponsors, we started a journey, and we have developed a referral document. And I want to recognize the Kenya Judiciary Academy for bringing together judiciary colleagues from across Africa, but also bringing healthcare providers, young people themselves, but also the policy makers. And we were able to develop a referral document that we shall be launching tomorrow. This document shall be a reference document by healthcare providers, young people, but importantly, our Ministry of Health when they're developing policies that then affect adolescent and youth. Importantly is the judiciary told us if only they knew better, they will not have made the kind of decisions they've made in courts. And as I speak today, I'm proud to say we have the Kenya Judiciary Academy well represented here, but we have honorable justices from Zambia, Malawi, and other countries seated here today to listen to the issues adolescents face, especially in court. I also don't want to, celebrate how far we've come, but I want to talk about how far we are yet to go. Nearly a quarter of our population is adolescent, and by 2050, 1 in 3 adolescents globally will live in sub-Saharan Africa. That is not a statistic, it is a responsibility of all of us seated here today. And right now, as we sit in this room, that responsibility is not being met. Adolescent pregnancies keep on rising. HIV infections among young women remain devastatingly high. Sexual and gender-based violence is not declining. Rather, it's being normalized. And at exactly the moment when we need to be scaling up our response, global health finance is shrinking. Commodity shortages are disrupting access to contraceptives. The systems that young people depend on are under pressure from every direction. I need to name this plainly. African young people are being failed by the systems that were built to serve them. And that failure has a cost. It has a name. It has a face. And it looks like Amina pulling off the paper from the wall. Young people from Africa are not waiting for us to save them. They are organizing, they are innovating, they are demanding, they are leading. They are building movements in restrictive environments with limited resources against significant pushback, and they are winning. This year's conference theme, Strengthening SRHR to Achieve Youth Agency, Full Potential and Meaningful Participation in Africa's Dynamic Socio-Political and Economic Landscape, is not just a theme, it is a position. It says that your youth agency is not a nice to have, it's not a box to tick, it's not tokenism dressed up as participation, it is the foundation. Everything else we build on must rest on it. This conference will be tackling the triple threat, adolescent pregnancies, gender-based violence, not as a separate crisis, but as the deeply interconnected realities that is. We will be removing barriers, we'll be talking about financing, not just international aid, but domestic accountability, tax justice, and the resources African governments owe the young people. We will be centering young people with disabilities, young mothers, young people in conflict zones, young people who have made invisible by our own programs. And we will be asking ourselves the hardest questions. Can Africa truly achieve its development ambitions and harness its demographic dividend while millions of young people still lack the information, service, protection, and opportunities they need to thrive? That is the question. 3 days, dozens of sessions, hundreds of brilliant minds, and at the center of it all, it's young people, not as objects of our concern, but as architects of our solutions. And before I close, I want to say something directly to the young people in this room. Where are the young people in the room? Thank you. You belong here, not in the front row, not in the back, not in the youth corner, here at the center, at the table, in the conversation. Your lived experiences is not a personal story. It is evidence, it is data, it is policy, and it is exactly what this conference needs to hear. Do not be quiet. Do not wait to be called on. Push, challenge, disagree. Ask the questions that the rest of us are too uncomfortable to ask. And that is why we build this space. To our delegates from across the continent and beyond, welcome. You have a long way in many ways than one to be here. You've come a long way in many ways than one to be here. This conference will be what you make of it. Bring your knowledge, bring your frustration, bring your questions, bring your ideas, and live with connection, commitment, and the energy to go back and do the work differently.